takes that into the landing area. And now the return across the 20 out to about the 30-31 yard line, and that's where the Jets will is in the backfield for Smith, who of course was a second-round pick out of West Virginia University. First down, they're going to go to Braylon Allen, and he gets just a couple of yards, not much there. Steelers defensively do a good job. Slaughter came up on that one. Now let's take a look at some of the players expected to make an impact tonight. These are presented by your neighborhood Ford store. Ford, the official truck of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We expect to see a lot from Howard and Aller, of course. Robert Spears-Jennings had a good debut last week, and so did Gabriel Rubio.
They both did. Jennings did a nice job of coming out of the secondary. They loved the way that he tackled, and of course Rubio being disruptive whenever he was in the game.
All right, 2nd and 8 now after a 2-yard gain for Allen. Smith hit, throws to his intended receiver, and it is Mitchell, and Mitchell gets first down yardage. Watch the pressure coming up front, Charlie.
Smith, no, he knows it. Gino's sitting there saying, I have to get rid of this football. Held on to the last minute, taking that shot, getting it to his playmaker, picking up a first down.
Rayshawn Jennings made that play. He was brought here early in camp. They had Savage, they got rid of him, brought in Jenkins, and he's been playing well. Had a good game last week. So now Smith. 1st and 10. Deep drop, throws down the field. As a receiver, did he keep his feet in bounds? And that's A.D. Mitchell again. And that is another completion. And Mitchell was a guy, of course, who was part of that Sauce Gardner trade. That's a gain of 21 yards. Originally out of Texas, 2-time national champion, went to Georgia. Sauce Gardner, that was a big trade last year, and he's one of the guys they brought back.
Yes, it was. It was a nice route by Mitchell. He got Dean turned around. Easy completion on the out route there. Not sure exactly what Dean saw, but that's one they're going to come back to for sure if he's not able to clean that up.
Braylon Allen's in the backfield because Breece Hall got injured in training camp. Mason Taylor, tight end, is in the game. And this is Allen getting a couple of yards there before the Steelers get him to the ground. Sean Elliott was one of those in there, and Elliott back from his injury. At the time, he thought that hyperextended knee, which put him out. I think he suffered against Green Bay last year. It was a tough injury, but he's come all the way back.
Yeah, it's a big difference when he's in the game and not in the game. He is the leader of that secondary. He sets the tone, and whenever he was not in the game last year or missed that time, it really impacted their defense statistically.
2nd and 7 for New York. First possession of the game. They have one first down. This pass batted down. It looks like maybe Y.A. Black was the guy who playing nose tackle this year, and he's been doing well. He's a big guy, and if he occupies people in the middle, it could free up a lot of guys around him.
And Y.A. Black, he had a really good game last week, and he is looking to add on to that. You see the batted pass there, and I'm sure Derek Harmon saying, I'm not used to tackling the ball carrier, or at least the receiver and the offensive lineman right there, and he's laughing to himself as he makes that tackle.
Y.A. Black got the better of Josh Myers, their center, who signed here for 2 years, $15 million last year, originally with the Packers. And they have some real studs on their tackle position. They got Mitchell, Wilson, and Amari Cooper in the game now for the Jets. And this one is Mason Taylor. I'm sorry. He, by the way, is the son of Hall of Famer Jason Taylor. And he makes that reception. Their #1 tight end, Deshaun Elliott, makes the stop.
I know he grew up down in South Florida, but he has family ties here to Pittsburgh, and I know they are all here representing, if not here, but they are listening to this. Nice job of separation here. Ball slightly behind Taylor. Nice job adjusting, making that catch.
This is Geno Smith's first opportunity. He did not play last week with an injury. We saw Cade Klubnik out of Clemson was their starting quarterback. He performed well. Expect to see him later in this game. A new set of downs. 1st and 10. Allen in the backfield. Steelers trying to stop this drive by New York. Allen gets it, and right off the bat, he's hit there. And it's Patrick Queen who comes up and makes the open field tackle, and a good one.
And that is Patrick Queen right there. This is what he loves to do, come downhill and be able to meet the ball carrier right at the line of scrimmage. There was no hesitation by Queen. You can see nowhere for the running back to go at this particular point. He had 55 tackles last year, 1 sack, 1 forced.
He stays healthy, he's got more receivers.
And to your point, Waddle adds a lot of space and speed in this offense. I think he's going to open up a lot of opportunities for the Troy Franklins, for the Pat Bryants, who's having a great camp. And it'll allow Sean Peyton to get some of those special plays, you know, the special category plays that we used to have in practice, Mooch, the reverses, the screens, and all of those things. That is a dynamic playmaker right there, and I know they're happy to have him this offseason.
And it'll be interesting to see how his development shines under the play calling of Davis Webb. Remember Sean Payton handing the play calling off this year? It'll be Davis Webb.
You think it'll last all season?
Play caller.
Yeah, I do. I think the kid is sharp.
I do too. But Sean Payton, you know, Sean
very sharp.
Yeah, he likes that stuff. But when Davis Webb was the quarterback at Cal, he used to run the show, man. He used to take all the perimeter guys and run the meetings.
See, I
mean, he was a smart guy. Now, the coaches let him do it because he was capable.
Well, and has worked his way up under Sean, too. So they know each other pretty well right there. And I think you'll see a little bit more Evan Ingram from the tight end role than you did in year one with the Broncos last year with Webb calling the plays. You got a player to watch, though, for us, Imran?
Oh, yeah, running back Jonah Coleman, Denver Broncos.
Good one.
You know, obviously, you know, we talk about J.K. Dobbins having some injury issues and things like that. Jonah Coleman was brought in to kind of be like a, you know.
Like a little MJD.
Yeah,
somebody was calling him, you know what I mean?
Back him up a little bit. But this kid is great in the passing game. He had over 31 receptions last year, a couple of touchdowns in the passing game, 1,800 yards over the last 2 years with Washington and running back coach Scotty Graham, who used to be a big part of the National Football League. What's up, Scotty? But this kid can play, and I think he's been a pleasant surprise during camp, especially what he could do in the passing game.
Yeah, together with R.J. Harvey last year, early round pick, and then J.K. Dobbins, if healthy. That's a really nice and intriguing running back trio right there for the Denver Broncos. That's how we will finish the night. Here is how we will begin the night.
What number is this for you in this stadium? 17 that I've started. You know what kind of game it's going to be. We got to score points. Yeah. A lot of them. Is that not good enough? I used to be good at that.
And wants to run and makes a man miss and was just tripped up enough.
I made you miss, though.
Rodgers is going to tuck it and get to the far sideline and escorted out of bounds there by Jack Campbell.
Oh, you don't want me to help you pick you up? Why? Because you slower than a 42-year-old? Am I really faster than you? How come you didn't let me pick you up? You're an ageist.
You own this place too?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Some things may change, but Rodgers being great with a mic on does not. That's excellent. Although we won't see him tonight, he is getting a little bit of work in ahead of this matchup against the Jets. For more on the quarterbacks we will see, we send it back out to Acrisure and Judy Batista.
Brett, this is a season-long farewell tour for Aaron Rodgers, and part of the reason why it's happening at all is because Mike McCarthy is here as the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they decided to reunite after their famously up-and-down years at the Green Bay Packers. I'm told the reunion has gone really well. They are enjoying their time together. The issues from the past are squashed and remain in the past, and they're really enjoying the feeling that their careers are coming full circle together. Now, Rodgers has been adamant this is absolutely the last season of his career, which means McCarthy is going to have to find and develop the next Steelers quarterback. We're going to get a look at two guys who may be a part of that competition, Will Howard and Drew Aller, the young quarterbacks. Will Howard will start this game. McCarthy said he's looking to see how he makes decisions when things break down. Aller, the rookie, he just wants to see operational, get in and out of the huddle, get the play call in. They both played well last week. McCarthy was happy with what he saw, could create some very interesting roster decisions here in Pittsburgh.
Judy Batista, appreciate that. It's been 8 years since these two were together, and maybe even longer since they were really, really good together, going back to that 10-year run, averaging about 270 yards passing per game, throwing at least 2 touchdowns a game, and that has dropped now for Rodgers this last year with the Steelers. Mooch, the question becomes then, what does the Mike McCarthy system look like with this version of Aaron Rodgers?
So you're a little familiar with the West Coast offense, right? So they're going to run Mike McCarthy's new version of the West Coast offense that Aaron is very familiar with. Yeah. This is a great spot for him. It's a good remarriage of these guys getting back together again with a system that's very familiar. Right. It's not like, because Aaron had to learn a new system under Arthur Smith last year, and then with the Jets was different, and so he's back to the future right now. All right, it's going to be 80-85% of what they've succeeded with. But maybe some of the movement stuff won't be the same with a 42-year-old guy that's coming off an Achilles surgery a couple years ago. He probably will throw the ball a little quicker, and on this sideline of scrimmage a little more often than he used to when he was scrambling around like a crazed dog in Green Bay throwing Hail Marys against the Lions. But you know what? They're going to let him call plays. They're going to do some RPOs, run the ball against light boxes, sling it out there to the wide receivers when you got loaded up boxes and you got easy coverage, soft coverage. I can't wait to watch what it's going to end up looking like. But I know Aaron Rodgers is excited about being back in this system.
But Mooch, the running around and the ad-libbing, that's where that version of that offense got them a large part of their explosive plays. Like, they needed Aaron Rodgers to move around and buy time. That's why it all worked. And if I remember correctly, and I know it was some injury-related stuff too, but when Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers were about to break apart, it was, some of the rumors were like the offense was getting stale a little bit. And that's why they brought in Coach LaFleur and structured Aaron a little bit differently. And then he won 2 MVPs, right?
Yeah.
And so my thing is, when Mike McCarthy was out, what did he learn during that time being out that he can add to the system to help an aging Aaron Rodgers? Because the system in Dallas worked, but you had younger players.
Yeah. So he spent the year after the Packers, like in an office just studying football and current trends and all that. And then he won 12 games every year in Dallas, right? He just didn't go into the playoffs like they wanted to. So some of that, now that's Dak Prescott with a younger team and a younger athletic quarterback. But some of that will be pertinent. Some of it will be used. They'll adjust to Aaron's age. Hey, let's watch because it's going to be fun to watch.
No question they both evolved in different ways, and how they come together and find that common ground will, of course, be something we are watching for when we get ready for the regular season. And tonight, though, we're getting ready for kickoff of Jets and Steelers here on NFL Network. But for fans in New York and Pittsburgh, you're going to need to check your local listings for live coverage in your markets. For the rest of you, Jets and Steelers starts right now.